Yes, how you doing there? Good to see you.
So my question is, what are the differences and similarities you see between the Patriot Act and Frontera Pro in the 60s in terms of suppressing movement and isolating individuals?
Yes, I heard that question. Ooh, you all got some wonderful questions here. There's a relation between COINTELPRO. There's a new movie out on J. Edgar Hoover. I think Brother Leonardo's in it, right? Right. Well, J. Edgar Hoover goes all the way back to 1916, the Palmer Rage. The Palmer Rage, 1916. And socialist mayors of Oklahoma City, socialist mayors in Milwaukee were pushed out, exported, deported, all the way through the 1960s. Martin Luther King Jr., every day of his life under FBI surveillance since January 1956. Black Panther Party, FBI surveillance, SDS, FBI surveillance. And I'm sure we got some FBI brothers and sisters here. Hello. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, that's right. We free. We telling the truth. And I'm a Christian, so I love you, but watch out. But the point is that any time ordinary people come together, you're going to have various kinds of strategies deployed by the powers that be, including paid informants, including infiltrators, and so on and so forth. It's a given. And anytime you tell the truth about injustice, and especially anytime you talk about bringing white brothers and sisters, black brothers and sisters, brown brothers and sisters, let us never forget our precious red brothers and sisters, and our Asian yellow brothers. Anytime you get people talking about a movement, bringing all those folk about, somebody gonna get killed. But some of us are ready to die. That's all right. I got my cemetery clothes on every day. I'm camping ready. But that's not true for everybody. But some folk have to be ready to die. It's just a fact. The powers that be are serious. They'll crush you like a cockroach. Why? Because so much is at stake. But you know what? Many of us are willing to fight like tigers. Because justice is at stake. And the children and the elderly and the orphan and the widows are at stake. So COINTELPRO has a long history. The Patriotic Act already in place for violation of rights, invasion of privacy, wiretapping that goes on all the time. And my God, let us not downplay the role of our brown brothers and sisters here, given these deeply racist and autocratic immigration policies. There was 1 million of our brothers and sisters in the immigration movement that marched last May. That's a whole lot of folks. That's a whole lot of folks. Now, can you imagine you get so many of the brown brothers and sisters coming together, and you get the black brothers and sisters coming with the hood, coming out of the hood? Oh Lord, I've been suspicious of these white brothers and sisters for a long time, but you know what? They are serious. And lo and behold, we got a new context now where I see that they affirm my humanity and concern about my situation. Then they start getting calls from Egypt and say, oh, you know, they didn't think we'd be able to do anything, but we toppled the tyrant who the United States supported for 30 years. 30 years. Then you get a call from Tunisia. Then you get a call from Amsterdam, a call from London. And they say, oh my God, we got a serious movement on our hands. We got to unleash all the infiltrators that we can. And what else will they do? They'll try to pull out the leaders. We'll give you a television show. We'll give you access to the top. We might even invite you to the White House where you can have a beer summit. Maybe two, to cool you off. And one of the reasons why it's so very important to look back. The thing when you look back at somebody like Martin King, what was it about that moved us. So it wasn't that we all politically agreed with the brother or ideologically agreed with the brother, but what was it? He was never up for sale. He never caved in. He never sold out. He never gave up. That's called integrity. So whether you agree with him on every issue, one thing you knew was whatever house he went into, it could be a White House, a crack house, your mama's house, he was going to come out with integrity. But that's exactly what a leaderless, leaderful movement is all about. Each and every one of us have to aspire to that same kind of integrity. I didn't say perfection, integrity. And when you have that, yes, some will be crushed, some will be killed, some will be lied on, but you can't kill all of us. You can't lie on all of us in such a way that we accept it. And you can't crush all of us at the same time. And the ones that do get crushed, we shall forever remember them because their spirit is with us as we move forward. I know that's a long answer to that question, but that's a serious question right here, my dear sister.
Thank you, Dr. West.
Thank you so much.
I wanted to expound a little bit on Mark's representing the wondrous, awesome Tom Hartman out in Washington, D.C., giving a shout out to you. And he mentioned about an hour ago on the air that you and he had co-chaired some panels and other things at the Fighting Bog Poet Fest in Wisconsin, and I would very much like for you to expound a bit on your being exposed to the people in Madison and around Wisconsin, and what the impact of their quiet but determined resolve not to say no. I mean, they were always saying, yes, we will change things, but we will do it quickly. We will do it forthrightly with integrity and just show the sham of the corruption that is trying to dissolve and destroy our democracy. And I really appreciate your comments.
Well, like God, you said it so eloquently. I just want to say ditto and affirm. Of course, we want to salute Brother Tom, but there's no doubt that the struggle of our brothers and sisters in Wisconsin played an important role as one of the catalysts for the kind of deep democratic awakening that we're talking about. It was heroic, it was sustained. They brought in a variety of different organizations, labor movements, community organizations. They had prophetic religious institutions. They had professors. They had pharmacists. They had firemen. I mean, it was a huge alliance and coalition. There's no doubt about that.
And it was so affirmative.
And it was affirmative, absolutely, and nonviolent. And nonviolent.
So fighting means many things.
Fighting means a whole host of things.
Way of approaching things is more commendable than sheer mindless violence.
Oh no, mindless violence is always to be rejected. Always to be rejected. Definitely, very much so. As I said before, when we talked about the nonviolent movement of Martin King, let's say, versus the just war theory that I was talking to associate myself with, it's only under very, very distinctive circumstances that one even think about being violent. Now, in my own particular case, I mean, somebody messed with my mama, I'm not nonviolent. That's why I talk about I fight against Hitler. Hitler's going to be difficult in terms of being nonviolent. The leaders of apartheid in South Africa are going to be difficult in terms of it. Now, we're nowhere near that, but I'm just talking about the theory of it. But we can come together and have a discussion and dialogue and critical exchange about it, because any kind of movement like Occupy movement is going to have a variety of different voices and viewpoints and visions. Absolutely. We got some anarchist brothers and sisters here. Oh yeah, I love my anarchist brothers and sisters. I'm not an anarchist, but I learn a whole lot from them. Oh yeah. We got some socialist brothers and sisters here. Oh yes, learn a whole lot from my dear socialist brothers and sisters. We got some communists. We got the progressives who believe in the mixed economy and the welfare state. Hey, that's fine. We all still together. We got overlap. We might even have some Republicans involved.
One was arrested in Portland.
One was arrested.
An 81-year-old man who was arrested in Portland, who came down to the police brutality didn't happen, was brutalized by police, and when he was interviewed the next day, he said, "I'd do it again."
I mean, you take a brother like Ron Paul. Now, Ron Paul, he got a lot of challenges. But he has the courage to right there with the mediocre Republican candidates and say, America is an empire. He's right about that. The government's corrupt. He's right about that. They just do away with most of government. He's dead wrong about that. But we got overlap. You see what I mean? And that's what movements are. You don't want just a mono-dimensional movement of one particular orientation or party line and all this other mess. You got to be jazz-like. Look at Duke Ellington's band. What is distinctive about Duke Ellington's band? He's one voice among others. Hit it, Johnny Hodges, take it over. Hit it, Gonzalez, take it over. Sometimes Gonzalez might play for 18 minutes, sometimes he plays for 10 minutes. Depends on what kind of mood he's in. And Duke is supposed to be head, but he's just one voice on the piano. Some nights he has no solos at all, but it's the Duke Ellington band because jazz is deep democratic action in its symbolic form. Lift every voice. That's the anthem of black people, right? That's what created the democratic form of jazz, even though we in many ways have been the fundamental victims of American democracy, along with our red brothers and sisters, but embracing everybody. And that's what it's about. And when you jazz like, you got to be self-critical, transparent, visionary, courageous, do your homework, improvisational, spontaneous, disciplined, and have a little style. That's what it is. When I stepped up there, who did I invoke? Jimmy Hendrix. Come on, you know what that means? That's right. I'm not invoking an entertainer. I'm not invoking somebody around with his guitar left-handed. I'm talking about a genius who comes out of a tradition of struggle that's connected to lifting his voice, embracing everybody, and at the same time dealing with the demons inside of him, even as he's trying to keep track of the angels inside of other folks. That's what we're talking about. That's Seattle at its best. Thank you all so very much. Stay strong. Stay strong. Occupy Seattle.